Hey y'all, this is Doc coming back at y'all again. Uh, I was sitting here doing a lot of thinking about, you know, this prepping thing. Now I know everybody's got their own idea, what we're prepping for. Well, does anybody really know what we're prepping for? Okay, outside of the few smart asses are going to say, well, we're preparing for a disaster. Isn't that what we're preparing for? Yeah, well, what kind of disaster? I mean, everybody got their own idea what it could be. I mean, some of y'all say, well, could be, let's say, super volcano, or how about the race war? Let's see, solar flares, or an EMP, which is for you highly educated folks out there, electromagnetic pulse, which would do the same thing as a solar flare, knock out the grid. Then you got, how about tectonic plate shift? Tectonic plate shift means with the continents, we get all upset and they'd move back around like they did 600 million years ago, and Australia would be up our booty where California used to be. Tsunamis, nuclear war. Let's see, the polar shift, which would probably be what would happen, cause the tectonic plate shift. Boy, that's a mouthful for me to say. Anyway, now you got the planet Nibiru. That could come too close, and once again, that would probably, the gravitational pull would probably cause a polar shift or whatever. Then there's martial law. Okay, everybody's talking about martial law. It's all over the place on YouTube. Martial this, martial that. Hell, I thought martial was an amplifier. Well, I come from the days in Woodstock, so that's my own stripped gear right there. Anyway, there's the World War III, and my personal favorite. Now, this is my personal favorite. This is one that I nurture, and I hold dear to my heart. Okay? Fucking alien invasion, or my mostest favorite one is fucking a zombie apocalypse. A zombie apocalypse. Okay, a fucking zombie apocalypse. Well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but maybe I don't get out of the house much. But when was the last time you went to a sale anywhere at any mall after any given fucking retarded holiday? Man, if that's not a fucking zombie apocalypse, I don't know what the fuck is. Shoot, I'm lost. That's a zombie apocalypse. And if you can make it through there without any weapons, then you pretty much got it made. Safe to say you might make it home and you might be okay. Now, let's say the zombie apocalypse does happen. Okay, we're going to have weapons, right? We don't have any weapons in the house. So I got to looking around. I said, well, let's approach this in a little bit more practical fashion. If we're going to be prepared, we're going to have weapons. Well, this is what I come up with. All right, I figured, well, here's something. I mean, be it zombies, marshals, or whatever's coming. Now, aside from the females, they're all going to have balls, right? Now, you see this neat little utensil right here. You get some sucker by the nuts with this doohickey, and you give them a good twist, and guess what? You own them. And then I got to looking at this, and hell, they're broke. What am I going to do? Hit them in the head? I ain't going to do nothing but piss them off. All right, so that's out. Now, we got knives, forks, and what fork and knife wouldn't be complete without a spoon? Now we're getting somewhere. We got a spoon. Okay, if that don't work, the old 28-ounce framing hammer, and not just any framing hammer. This is a 28-ounce cheapie bought from Harbor Freight. I think it was $1.99, or it was $2.98 and some loose change or something like that in yen. I don't know. Then there's always the spatula. Now look, this is not just any spatula. This one's got holes in it so you can swing it extra fast and do less damage in rapid succession. Okay. Now let's see what else we got. Oh, y'all gotta see this one. There we go. Getting a little more serious. Now, I actually made this, you know, and everything that I got to make this, I actually picked out of the trash, with the exception of the hides. I got a deal on some buckets of hides. You can see the coon tail. Alright, not to be confused with a Lamborghini Countach, it's a coon tail. Wrapped with leather here. This is actually half of a Fisker's brand, we call it hedge trimmer. Underneath this paint, it's all nice and polished. You can see there a little on the tip. If you look at it, it's rather shiny. I got some time in that. And I wrapped it all with real snakeskin. And for my balance point, I put a little leather thing there. And don't poke you in the head. Look out, look out, look out. And on the bottom, I put one of those little things that you put on the bottom of a chair leg. Now, the actual wood part underneath itself is an old pole sander that somebody had thrown in the trash. And I put all this together. I made a relatively, it's a pretty smart weapon. I mean, if nothing else, you could use it to help you run like hell. At least that's what I was thinking of. Now, the other things I've got to help me prepare, I got, we got a house full of nuts, and here's a bolt we can throw at them. I don't know how much damage that's going to be, so I went ahead and made sure I got me one of them drill tip self-starters. In case we get, we slow down a little bit, we got a self-starter to help us along here. Let's see. Now, there's always the old backup. This is a two-man operation, or in this case, a one-gal and one-guy operation. If the shit really gets thick, you can warm them up with this bad boy. Okay, are you watching this? Alright, I made my point. Now, what zombie is going to hang out after you smoke his stash with that bad boy, huh? I know I got a few arm hairs. Hell, I'm ready to run away. Anyway, now that I got that out of the way. Oh, Krylon, by the way. Don't waste your time with none of that bullshit Aquanet and all that other crap. Man, you want to hit them with the spray paint. And make sure you get the indoor-outdoor, because you don't know if they're going to be indoors or outdoors. And once you hit them with this shit, can't have it peeling off because of the weather, right? Okay, now we got that out of the way. Now, while you're doing all, oh, and just in case your lighter fails, I do have a Coleman magnesium fire starter, okay? But you got to be either three-handed or fast as hell, or just lucky to get that one accomplished. Now, there's always the backup zombie head masher. Now, I don't know how many times you'd have to hit him with it, but once you got that old head mashed, he'd be history. Okay, now let's see. I think that just about covers all the tools. Now, while you're doing all this, well, after you're done, all this zombie fighting and bullshit and running around and trying to get away from these green crackers, man, I'm going to tell you what, you're going to work up a thirst for one thing. Now, I don't have a bladder. I mean a water bladder. I mean, I myself have a bladder, but I'm not going to be drinking out of my own bladder. I mean, if I had a water bladder, I'd be drinking out of my water bladder. I don't want to be, you know, sharing my bladder with just anybody. Shit, I might slip and a zombie would have drank out of it, and then I'll get infected with their stuff, and then I'd be in a whole nother bunch of trouble. But anyway, now, for your food, so far we are doing very well at my house for prep. We have country lemon drops, half-eaten bag, of course. Things are a little slimmer on here. We got that. I have got more than moldy blue cheese. It is actually, I need to scratch that up because mine's turned just about 4 shades of black. Yes, black has different shades, trust me on this one. Okay, the other thing we have is, let's see, we have Viwenny sausage. Now, everybody's got to have a can of Viwenny. If you ain't got no Viwennies, then you ain't got nothing to whinny about. In which case, you're really going to be in some poo. Now, we have instant lunch. Now, this is one of my favorites. This stuff's great, you know. And you know, now that I'm looking at this and thinking about it, if you don't move fast enough, you're going to become instant lunch, because from what I understand, these zombies have some kind of taste for human flesh. So, and if you don't quite make it, you don't quite make it. And since they're into all kinds of meat, when they're done, they'll have a real treat. This is armored street meat. Now, they call it armored because it's, you guessed it, dressed in armor. So you might need an RPG or a shake charge, or you know, something of that effect to get it open. But I'm sure they'll have it figured out. You know, they probably come with sharpened dentures or something. You know, they just gnaw right through that bad boy. They'd be ready for it. Okay. Now, moving on. I think that just about covers every idiotic thing I've got to talk about today. So, this is your old buddy Doc Man once again, signing off. Hang in there and don't let the zombies get you. Doc loves y'all. Bye-bye.